Oh man, I like waking up like this. I'm just waking up in a giant garden. Breakfast outside. Homemade quiche that Monica made with asparagus from the garden. Fried potatoes and a little sausage. Oh man, this is it. So awesome here. Sounds like there's a goat that's not so happy. Sounds like it's coming from the vineyard. So I went down there. I got a hold of the owner, but he won't be home till later. So he authorized me to go on his property and have a look. And sure enough, there's a goat hung up on the fence. It's not so happy. So now, but they got big guard dogs. I'm gonna get shredded, I think. So I don't want to go down there. But there's another neighbor we can use their property to access the outside part of the fence, so maybe I can get that goat off the fence without getting mauled by the dogs. I'm just gonna head down there right now. All right, well, there's our guardian dogs, the livestock dogs. I don't want to mess with them, that's for sure. Goat's way at the bottom. Oh, I don't know how I can get to that. Stupid goats. I had to abandon that rescue. And that goat will live. It's gonna have a few hours to go till the owner's home, but those two guardian dogs, they were pretty, they were getting almost hysterical. So they're pretty big. They're over 100 pounds each. And I've seen the damage they can do because they fought another dog. So, yeah, not much I can do at this point. That's too risky. So I'll probably have to reach in the fence, stuff like that. Those two were getting pretty choked the closer I got. They're probably big enough to break the fence. So yeah, anyways, we'll play it safe. No sense coming back here and getting mauled. At the gate of the driveway here, just gonna do a quick walk and look at the changes. Just in front of the post here, I'll put some sunflower seeds in. They actually came up. Thought these should grow pretty quick. That's the road to town. It's been actually nice and quiet. Monica said it got a little bit busy because probably most likely because it was reopened. It washed out a few kilometers, well, probably 20 kilometers away from here. This is an area I had cut with the brush cutter. There's a lot of thorn bushes in here, so it's going to be more of a green area now. This side, just going to keep this trimmed down a little bit. It can be a overflow parking, whatever. These bushes, whatever they are, they're not quite in full force yet, but a lot of the leaves are opened up. It's amazing how things changed in just 12 days, 13 days, I guess. Wow. When I left, I think all this was still brown. This grass is shot right up. It's almost a foot tall. Yeah, it's pretty hard to believe. Definitely a good time to come back to. Whatever this tree is, it's pretty cool. Wow, there's so many bees in here. But that's all right. Bees are good. These ones here are filling out nicely. On the left, this willow had nothing on it. Just some buds. That's looking pretty good. Apple tree is looking good. Lots of bees in there too. This one's a little scarce. It's just getting going, but it's not the healthiest tree. This one here looks okay. I only did some pruning, so I'll let it do its thing this year, and then we'll clean that one up. Same with this little dude. There's way too many branches on this. Oh, these blossoms are pretty well done. They've been out for a while. Bee heaven. Okay, so back to the garden. Not sure what this is. Pretty cool. So this is the space that I was doing all the weed whacking in, down by the workshop. All the brush cutting. So that's turned pretty green now. I'll have to go back in there and clean it up a bit more. Rhubarb is looking good. Yeah. Well. Okay, we've got some stuff out here. We'll see how it does. Tomatoes and stuff, cukes. We just had too many seedlings, no room for them, so Monica put them out. All my peas are gone, thanks to the rodents. These are shallots. Kind of cool. Actually, we got a bunch of peas over here. So he didn't take them all. I'll have to get some water in his bed, and there's some garlic in here. 6. One's come up. Oh man, I think it's cauliflower. This one here, actually the mice got to. But man, it survived. There's one leaf left, and it actually, it's trying. And there's some more potatoes in here. These were store-bought organic potatoes. I just put them in. They should be coming up a bit. And then the strawberries are happy. These are just all random strawberries. And all the transplants, I put a lot of transplants, a lot of strays I put into this bed. So that's good. This stuff went nuts when I was gone, wow. I've been picking at the spinach and Monica's picked at it, and it's just insane. It's probably ready to bolt, so time to clean that up. This plant was pretty well dead. It had like one leaf. It just wasn't going to happen. Good old kale. Wow, we got some giant arugula. It gets pretty strong tasting at this size, so I'm going to take all that down. Wow. These radishes, a little bit close together, but oh my god. They're probably almost ready to go. What happened here? Whoa. This stuff exploded. Looking good. So I've still got all these to transplant. They're happy, but it's time to come out. Got some chard happening. This cuke got some blight. It's not happy, but it's still going. And these peppers are looking okay. Monica put a whole bunch in here. Doesn't look like they're suffering, so it's good. Basil's looking good. I think this is a little bit of thyme, pretty small. These chives, I had lots of issues with the chives, and the parsley, that finally came around after it's been frozen a few times. Over here we got, oh man, these are like a runner bean, I think. So I can take these out. Jason Brown's cilantro is doing okay. A little bit slow. And some other stuff. And then we've got these tomatoes. Looking good. And then we have these tomatoes in. Alright. Actually, pretty decent size. They're looking pretty healthy. And then we have the store-bought thing, which Monica says had a couple of small tomatoes on it. Yep. Okay, got my work cut out with the grass. So we have an electric mower we brought from the city. It's not gonna work, obviously, not out here. Not this far out. We did a little bit in the orchard and stuff with it, and originally we cut the grass, but yeah. There's a fair bit to do now, so yep. Gonna get a new mower in the next few days. And all this grew in when I was gone. Unreal. Got the hummingbirds doing their mating thing. They're having fun. This flower bed looks pretty good. The daffodils are kind of finishing up here, but the other stuff's coming up. So we'll have a little surprise what else we get. It's pretty cool. Bunch of tulips coming and some other things. We had used this fire pit a little bit. It was just a makeshift thing, but we decided to keep it. So a few weeks ago I strung out where we're gonna actually just take the grass off, and we're gonna just put gravel in here. We're gonna gravel it just for a little bit of safety reason too. I don't want it to fire right by the grass here. And just kind of a little bit of landscaping, I guess. And then we'll do a nice fire ring. Pretty cool. This bed is pretty, just quite a variety in here. All that yellow stuff, all that happened while I was away. Cool. It's pretty hard to take all this in just on my first day back. It's unbelievable. The sunroom actually, it gets pretty warm. So first thing in the morning, you gotta crack all the doors and windows open. This little, assume some sort of maple. That's just about to open up. The back of the house, quite a bit of stuff in these beds. And this little cool tree, not sure what it is. Lots of bees around here too. I don't even know where to start. I did quite a bit of stuff before I left, so I just kind of have to pick up on that. Yeah, I don't know what I want to tackle first, really. Yeah, I'm a little bit speechless, actually. There's quite a bit to do. It doesn't need doing, but yeah, I want to stay on top of this. So we'll have a nice landscaped. So I just want to keep the landscaping in check and keep everything in order. It doesn't turn into a total jungle. Yeah. Well, I'm going to deal with the water lines a little bit, so let's do that. Because irrigation is going to be very important here. So I'm going to get some more water into the garden and get that greenhouse. The drip line was disconnected, so Monica had to hand water it all, so I'll deal with that right now. Not sure what this is. Some sort of rose thing. There's a couple other ones in here. And then, I don't know if this whole tree is gonna do it. That would be cool. I think it is. I think it's all the same plant. And this one. Wow. And then it looks like some berries of sorts. So, just gonna stake these up with a, I'll find an old thin tree and put these up. I don't know where all this came from. 2 weeks and it looks like this. Wow. This is just here by the kitchen window. Yeah, when I left it was just a bunch of stringy, dead, raked up bits from last year. Wow. Huh, interesting. Looks like really nice ground cover, so. Okay, I could go on and on and on. I'll catch up on it. So I think this was a Virginia creeping vine. It's pretty out of control. It's just starting to get green. We had not a huge storm, but it was pretty big. A couple hours. It just showed up and it just monsooned here, pretty heavy. And quite a bit of hail. I was worried about the plants because Monica put some tomatoes and stuff outside and some other ones, but they managed. They look really good. I'm surprised. It was hammering down pretty good. Looking at this grass down here, I'm actually gonna have to start maybe trimming this. We are gonna get a mower, but I don't know if I'll mow down here or just do probably just a weed whacker down here and just keep it just short length. I forgot I left the Jeep at the bottom of the driveway this morning after I went to go look for the goat that was hung up. I'm pretty sure I left all the windows down for the last couple hours, so I want to go walk down and go get it. Expect it's going to be a little bit wet inside, definitely. I pulled my first radish too. This one's kind of smallish, but I don't like them. I don't like them very big because then they get all woody. I was kind of afraid I did that. Windows wide open. I mean, it was coming down hard. Oh well, it's a Jeep. I'm sure it'll be fine. Maybe I washed all the cow shit off that oh no, I didn't. A little wet. Yeah, it's kind of wet, but it's not puddled in here or anything. And actually, the carpet's dry, and that window's open too. I got pretty lucky. I don't know how that happened, but it's really it's not bad in here at all. This trail is so green now. Believe it or not, I ran another old bench. Further down, it's fairly wide. Looks like it was a road. Insane. And then it takes you up to one of my favorite places, the aspen stand. And look at it. Holy smokes. So cool. Let's go check out the other part. Wow. Looks so different. So cool. Well, that'll scare the deer away. So the trail's not that defined now. I don't know how much use it's getting. So I do want to come up here and just put a couple of main trails in for walking. Okay. I think this is where I'd set up the game cam that the bear took down. This is actually where I had a beer a couple weeks ago with the dogs. Wow, it's changed. It's not a bad thing. It's pretty cool. I'm following a game trail from the aspen, heading north. Came across this little flat spot. It's really nice. Definitely a good spot for pitch a tent if you like. Whatever. So the main trail is down here. So I have not been in here. Bizarre. But the deer have. And they keep this fairly maintained. Not sure where this is gonna go. It's kind of heading up, which looks like they come off of here. That goes up to Crown Land. I kind of wanted to drop down on the main trail. It's a bit worn in here. I was hoping I could connect. What the hell? I don't know. It's been used. I'll just connect that a little bit. The main trail should be here. Well, it looks like this is the old road bed again. Oh, here's the main trail. Cool. Okay, so now gotta mark this spot. What a day. This flower bed's doing really well. A lot of goodies in there. All the fruit trees are going and blooming. It's pretty cool. Oh man, got another monsoon happening. It was so nice out, cut the trail and stuff. Woo! Nice. But we're still sitting here having a beer. Reminds me of Cancun. Look at these big, massive downpours. Wow. Look at it blow off the greenhouse. I guess I don't have to water. I guess I don't have to water anything for a day or two. Yeah, that lawn is gonna be growing like a mother. I'm just getting to unloading the trailer with the aircraft in it. We had a bunch of rainstorms and hail, and it's actually sat out here, but you know what? It doesn't look like it even got wet at all in here. Everything's in good shape, it looks like. Nothing's moved. I'm just going to finish unpacking it, and hopefully nothing's taken any damage. But yeah, it looks pretty solid. I don't think anything's shifted around here. Yeah, it's been like, it's sat here for a couple of days now. I've got the 22 out. I haven't shot that in years. It's actually Monica's gun, a 10-22 semi-auto. And we can shoot it right here on the property. Not a big deal. We've got lots of backstop, and at 22, the neighbors won't even hear it. And we can shoot it right off the front deck, right off the picnic table. I've got a gun rest. We can sight in the scope again. Perfect. Just got that Pepsi can. It's not far out. That's just like 30 meters or so. But let's just sight in the scope. It's been a while since this one's been shot. So I took a shot and I thought I completely missed. I guess it is sighted in. Wow, I thought I missed, but I seen the can move a little bit. Okay, so no sighting required. That's that. Call it off. Well, that was a rather big deer. Man, I can't believe how close we're getting to some of the animals. It was just up here. And yesterday I came across one too. So right now there's lots of fresh leaves and grass. So It's a great spot. No, they're still on chase. I can see it over there. But the dogs come back right away. Good job, guys. Way to call it off, okay? Don't carry on the chase. All right, leave it. Okay, relax. Good job. There's a faint trail. I was using this for a bit. It's not that good, so I made another trail yesterday. But the deer seem to use it fairly often. It goes up to the aspens. So that's just from now. The deer bolted here. Yeah, because there's no trucks here. Everything's completely smooth and out from all the rain we had last night. See all these bunches here from the heavy water that came down. So any tracks that are here are fresh. I'm kind of surprised the deer was actually up here, because I left my gear yesterday. Guess they're not too afraid. So I left this because I was going to do a bit more today up in this area. I'm just going to go back up to the trail that we thinned out. Monica was up here with me yesterday. I think we did a pretty good job. And it starts just around the corner. So right here, there was a faint trail in here. I just took the brush cutter and reopened it. So it just cuts up here and gets onto an old road. It's full of deer crap because they do use it. It's actually a pleasant walk. And then it goes through this flat spot again. And just cuts through back into here, and eventually it connects with this old road bed. Yeah, once we walk this a few times, it'll be a nice path. I'll come back with loppers and just take out a couple more things. Like these, a couple of these branches. See the grouse is up here. You can hear them drumming away. We're heading off property today, believe it or not. We're gonna do some exploring in the back. There's a whole bunch of FSRs, so they are snow free, I assume. And yeah, it's a big network. There's some lakes up there too. I think most of them are kind of scungy, but gonna have a look around, see what we can find. I don't think it's too scenic. It looks like it's pretty well heavily logged and flattish, but we'll find out. And I've got the 7mm Rem mag with me. Maybe we'll get a chance to sight it in. Off we go. Just seems like any old FSR, I guess. Haven't seen a whole lot of logging. There's a lot of trees with ribbons and tags. And we're climbing, so I assume we'll just get to a big plateau where it levels off. There's definitely a lot of little side shoots and a fair bit of firewood to come back in here, get me some wood. There's a little lake we spotted, but I'm not going to drive in because this is actually very slimy. I'm sure I'll be okay, but I don't feel like pulling out the winch, making a mess. Yeah, it's actually pretty solid. But once you dig this up, it fills up your tread pretty quick. Actually, yeah, it's pretty slimy to walk on. Pretty soft. It's got this fence. I'm not sure how that all works for grazeland, I guess. But I'm sure the lake is public. Of course you would slop through that. Nice little hangout here. Monica was just saying how she commented on the cleanliness of the place. Because coastal stuff, it's getting pretty hard to find any spot in the backcountry that's clear like this with a fire pit. That's just not a pigsty.
Oh wait, I lied.
Oh man, there is a 12-gauge shell. Hey, but it's all in one spot.
Yeah, they cleaned it up off the ground and put it here. You know.
Yeah, well, it's not full of diapers and car parts, tires, a little bit of tin foil.
We could take some of these rocks for our fire pit.
There's lots here. You idiots.
Oh, they're shooting there.
Looks like moose.
It's on his property, you can do that.
Little black bear. It's a little slippery here. He's got a tough time getting up the bank.
Ah, that's enough. Yes, I know. Certainly not afraid, eh? Reno.
He's not happy about this rain. I've got the tikka set up. It's a pretty flimsy table and gone to rest. I got a target out. Let's just say approximate 100 yards. I'm pretty sure it's pretty close. Anyways, I just want to get some shots on paper here. And we'll go from there, see how that goes. Gonna be hard to hold this steady, but that's all I got. I had to lug this up on the trail. I'm on my own property. Target has a big berm behind it. It's quite an uphill with nothing in behind. So, not gonna have any stray bullets going anywheres. Monica's at the house. I've got the radio here, so before I pull the trigger, I'm gonna make sure the dogs are with her and not running through the woods here. I'm gonna start out with just some regular ammo, 150 grain. These are kind of a budget shell. Let's get a few rounds through and go from there. That one actually didn't even make it on paper. But I was just playing with the zoom on the scope and I noticed the ring is jammed. When I remounted the scope yesterday, I set it just a touch forward, so when I cinched it down, so it's actually not sitting in line with the barrel at all. Well, it is, but you know, 1 millimeter is going to throw it off a ton, so I'm going to just have to loosen that and slide it back a little bit for clearance. She definitely kicks. That's just 150 grain. It's got a good wallop, but my position is not very good. Kind of hunched over and stuff. Some kind of bad posture. So I kind of get a upper shoulder wrap on that one. But yeah, feels good to shoot it. Definitely got some oomph to it. if I can just hit something. Oh man, I was thinking I shot off paper again. That one counts. It's not bad. Like I said, my rest is pretty wobbly, so side to side, I'm really not happy with it. Height seems to be okay, but there's a lot of side play. So I'll put another one through it, see where it ends up compared to this one. Well, that one's a little high. I think I'll drop the scope just a touch. Like I said, my stand, it's pretty wobbly, so accuracy is not going to be that great. But if I can get another one within. Interesting. Still a bit high. Okay, I'm going to work on my my shooting position and rest, because like I said, it's too variable. Doing some gardening this morning, or just some maintenance. A bit more seeding. This is broccoli and cauliflower. This is a store-bought zucchini. We still have so much space. The potato bed's doing really good. They all actually shot up. The far bed hasn't even been used yet, or the second last bed. The far bed's got some perennials and asparagus, stuff like that, so we haven't played with it much. And over there some tomatoes that we don't have room for. The cold frame had spinach, but most of that's been stolen. Of course, like most guys, the critters didn't like the kale either.
Kale's doing really good.
Kale's doing really good. It's a friggin' weed.
Hey!
Strawberries are flowering quite nice. And these are just all strays, I think. Well, it's going to be a strawberry bed. I guess we'll dedicate this one. But they grow all over, just along the sidewalk here and all along the path. They just kind of do what they... And where they're supposed to be, they're not growing as much. And Monica's going to put, I think, carrots, onions in here. I'm going to use this first row for more radishes. The ones we had kind of bolted. It's too hot in the greenhouse. So we just got a few bulbs and they're finished pretty well. We're going to repaint this deck. Not sure what color yet. It's a fairly big deck. It's about half of it. That section. Problem is we don't want to get into it till we figure out what's happening here. So there's some leaks up here. I'll pull this board down. So it looks like I gotta remove the tin roof in spots and replace a couple of those boards and see what else is rotten. So I want to pull down a bit more. It looks like the front section may be okay, but it's been leaking here for some time. And it looks like it's just the center section has some issues. We've got a ton of this ground cover. Do you remember what it was? You checked it, right?
No, I didn't check that one actually.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to take some from here. It's starting to creep onto the driveway. Just like Reno, he's a creep. I'm just going to take a couple of these samples and take them down to the driveway where I have like bare earth on the driveway, the banks. They're not really all that pleasing to look at. So see if this will grow down there and spread out a bit. Sitting by the campfire, having a beer. Monica noticed we got some mosquitoes. They're not actually biting, but there's fat swarms hanging around here. So we got some bug spray. Williams Lake edition. Is that French? Here. Oh, here's English. Carb cleaner. So you don't actually spray this on yourself, but if you see a bunch of mosquitoes,
That's not.
do it. There isn't any more. And the next batch, just take them out. I set my thumb on fire too, but it was okay. Nothing happened to it. But if there's any COVID on this thing, it's definitely gone. So it works on COVID and it takes out mosquitoes and any other pests. And if your fire is getting low, it'll fix it too. The fire is doing just fine, but if it does die down, you could just give it a little kick. You just picked all that?
Yeah, that was way more than I thought.
It always. Oh, more asparagus?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
So this is the daily routine now. This is how we're. I think the harvest is pretty well. Wow.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god. Well,
Wait till everything else is ready.
well, because you know what's happening is that they're planted so close together, they're crowding each other. So
Yeah.
there was actually red leaf lettuce in here.
Yeah, I think there is. And there's some more fresh ones that started too.
Yeah.
Now that things have grown in a little bit, you can see what's not going to grow. So some of these bushes are just, they're finished. So I'll trim out those stems. Some of the cedar hedging, whatever it is, it's kind of not doing that well. I know there's a bunch of rodent damage. They chewed all the bark off. So I'll be trimming that out. Same here. Some of this is growing, and then we have complete parts that I'll take out. I'll just go down the fence line and do all that. It's not that much, but that'll just clean it up a little bit. That's cool. Just taking the dogs out for a quick... Oh, you're pretty vocal. Just a quick walk, and got a lot of things to do. I gotta make a run into town today. Let's see if we can find this guy. Pretty overcast today, a little bit cool. But that's all right. I've got a bunch of property work to deal with anyways. What I'm gonna do is actually get a load of gravel today. Where the fire pit is. We don't really want a grassy area there, especially when it dries up later in the year. So we'll do a little gravel section, and then we'll have the fire pit inside the gravel area, just the sitting area. So I'm gonna have to dig up all that grass, make room for the gravel. I'm gonna take the Jeep and the trailer. There's a bunch of cardboard and garbage and some recycling stuff, so I might as well just take. Well, I've got to take it anyways to get the gravel and the lawn. There's more lawn just than in the front of the house. There's quite a bit of green areas all around. Even down at the shop now, I want to maintain that. Weed whacker isn't the best tool for that either. It keeps the weeds down or the tall stuff down, but it doesn't really cut it properly to length. So we have an electric mower that we bought from Mission, which was fine for the front section, but now the rest of the property, that's just way too much. Obviously the extension cords don't reach anywhere. Yeah, once we started doing the orchard and stuff and some other bits, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get a real mower. So it won't be a ride-on. Don't think that's quite necessary, even though it would be nice. But we'll get a self-propelled machine, a decent quality mower at least anyways, and I want to keep the property fairly well maintained. I don't want it overgrowing and getting out of control. So yeah, we're going to have our maintained areas, and we're going to have some of the wild areas that we don't deal with. But yeah, just around the house, weeded areas around the house. We'll keep that tidy, keep the grass nicely, keep the grass at a decent length. And that's that. Let's go have a breakfast. Oh, this is all the stuff I cut yesterday. That was a heaping wheelbarrow full, and that's just the trimmings around the edges here. I'll see what else is gonna grow and get leaves on it, and then I'll clean up the rest of the branches after that. Yeah, the place is looking okay. This bed here is quite late. There's not much happening here, and the back is filling out behind the carport, behind the house. There's some pretty cool things. These are raspberries. Gonna give them a little bit of support. This is a rose bush of sorts. It's got some pretty cool flowers, so it looks like most of this bush is actually gonna flower, which is gonna be pretty cool. There's some flowers up higher. They're just starting in here. So I expect this one to be a bit of a show. That's all right. That's what the fire pit currently is. So we just use it once in a while, a little end of the day fire type thing. This ground cover is really filling in. I did take some of this and I took it down to the driveway. See if we can fill in some things. And this vine is just starting to get leaves. So that's gonna be a big wall of green. I'm off to town. Yay! Not really. Always seems like a big trip with multiple stops. Lose a lot of the day. But main thing is I'm getting a load of gravel for the fire pit, and we're gonna pick up a new mower. Like I mentioned, the one we have is not adequate. And while I'm in town, I'll pick up a few other things. So I'm gonna do some roof repairs and a couple of pit stops. So I'm gonna do a recycle run and garbage drop, a few things. Another beautiful day, but I think it's gonna rain this afternoon or this evening. I'm heading back now. I've got all my my stops done. I picked up the gravel. I got the mower. And this morning I was going to pull the T-tops off the Jeep, or the Freedom tops. It was pretty nice out, but we got some heavy rain coming. Oh, here we go. Just like that. We'll leave the roof on for today. It was monsooning here for probably 2 hours. Man, get some pretty heavy rains here. But like I said before, the property just soaks it up or it drains it. So there's no standing water anywhere here. I mean, it was coming down hard. Garden's good. Nothing really, there's not really any standing water, so it's good. Driveway drains nicely now. And yeah, it's good. Mosquitoes probably like it too. Bought some of these little patio light things. It's gonna have these on the fence. They're solar powered, so I can put them anywhere. And we've got another set of lights. I think we'll try to string them from the corner, maybe to the tree. Just a little lantern, just some ambience lighting. Got the gravel, got the mower. Sun's back out, so we can have some beers and do a little bit of chores out here. It's a bit of an unsettled morning, but it's nice and cool. So I think I'm going to tackle the fire pit area. I've cleared out the area, so I'm going to remove the rocks. We'll put the pit pretty close to that spot, maybe a little bit more toward me. Just going to remove the grass and a little bit of topsoil. I'm not really going to level it so it'll drain. The sitting area is level enough, so yeah, it's not very big either. It's just going to be for us and maybe a couple of people if they come over. But I'm also going to do the pit down at the workshop. I'm probably going to do a large pit there. I'm probably going to do some RV parking. You can probably get 2 or 3 RVs down there depending on size. If people come over, they can power into the workshop. There's lots there. And I might do another small pit in the orchard. I might just get one of those metal rings and just have a quick, easy setup. Something semi-portable, maybe. It's going okay. It's a little bit slow. I was hoping for more cloud because it's kind of warm out. Just a bit more than halfway done, I guess. Not really my favorite job so far, because I'm taking all the grass layer. I'm taking it down to the workshop. It's still rough down there. There's lots of divots, so I'm gonna fill those in and keep it wet, and hopefully that grass will grow, and that'll look much better down there too. So yeah, I'm just gonna reuse what I take off. It's starting to pay off a little bit. It's still pretty rough in there, but it looks just so much better. I kept a lot of the bush. I might take out some more next year, we'll see, but there's a fair bit of green space. Plus there's all this over here too. Goes behind the trees a fair ways. There's some areas that were pretty heavy bush, and when I took all that out, there's not really any grass growing, so I'm taking some of that fire pit grass and just putting it on these spots. There's one over there also, another one there, and a whole bunch by the greenhouse. It's quite steep, so I've kind of filled that in a little bit. That'll mellow out the grade a little bit to the just from the driveway to the greenhouse area. There's a steep bank. Can't make up my mind if I want to put a membrane down or some sort of landscape fabric. It's been recommended on some sites, and depends on the application. Some people say it's not really going to work all that great either. There's some of that black plastic that's in the garden for weed control. That works really good. I mean, I've been walking on it, but if you put gravel on it and keep walking on it like we are here, you're just gonna puncture holes through it. So then you're just gonna have, I don't know. Same with the fabric. It's gonna wear down just from the gravel. This gravel is a little bit sharp, and yeah. So it's a small area really, anyways, to do a little bit of weeding if you have to. I mean, just you can use a vinegar solution or boiling water even, or the 12 gauge, something like that. And I thought if I could use an old tarp. I've got a bunch of tarp. I can cut the size. That'll be like a membrane too, but I think the gravel's just going to slide around on it. I know it's push through it anyways, eventually. So I think I'm going to put the gravel down onto the dirt, pack it down. It'll at least stick into the dirt so it doesn't move around. And I might not have enough. I may have to get some more, but I think I'm just going to go straight on here, because it is sloped and it does drain, so I'm not too worried about it mixing with the soil. I just hope I'm not sorry later, but I think that's the way I'm going to do it. I don't think it's going to turn into a mud pit or anything. I'll just have to make it deeper gravel. That's it for now. It's a little bit thin, the gravel, so I'll probably get some more and just use the rest in the driveway and carport where needed. Gonna get more rocks probably tomorrow, and then do a permanent fire ring. I think this is gonna work out just fine, especially for the two of us. It's plenty of space, so that'll work definitely. We'll probably have a little fire, but it's been raining in the evening, so guaranteed if I light this thing, we're gonna get rain. Got your gravel pit?
Yeah.
Done deal.
It's much nicer.
Yeah. Don't have to worry about sparks and all that. And okay, that'll work. So like I said, we'll add some more gravel, maybe our border, a couple things here and there. Got some lights strung up too. Did those yesterday, and then there's some in the background here, just along the fence. Those are solar powered little lanterns. So just gives a soft light. Monica just filled the feeder. It's been inside for like an hour. And the hummingbird was so mad. She didn't even get a chance to put it up, but he's feeding right on Monica's hand, basically. Oh man, that's cute. That's pretty cute. Yeah, it's not even hung up yet. Oh my god, there you go. Just can't wait. I ended up getting another load of gravel. I think that's all we need. So the rest is gonna go in the driveway where we have some hollow sections where it's maybe a little slippery. Put some of that in. I'll probably keep the rest for something else. These rocks were from the fireplace. I managed to stop along the road. There's a slide, so there's a lot of rocks that were pretty similar. So I ended up we built a new ring, but we're gonna make it 2 rocks high. Got a couple of tiki torches. We're gonna go down to the fence line road that I kind of cleared quite a while back. That's where I got stuck. We unloaded the trailer, had all the gravel in it for the fire pit and the driveway. So I'm gonna take the Jeep down with the trailer attached down to that off-road section. It should be okay. It's gonna be a little bit rough, I think. Flies. So we're gonna get some firewood. We're just gonna get small trees that are back there because we've been burning some of the good wood in that fire pit. So we don't want to do that. So we're gonna get a load, and that'll be our campfire stuff. Things have really changed down here. It's nice and green. So we're gonna take a sharp right. Be a little tricky with the trailer. Over this big hump. Yeah, there's more trees down, I see. We had quite a bit of wind. So we'll just cut these up, I guess. Got the Jeep turned around. There's actually a couple of good spots in here. So I'm gonna back it up to over here. Just some old stuff I had bucked up in the winter time. It's 4:28 p.m. We just got some wood from the back for the fire pit, so we don't have to use our good firewood. And Monica beat me to a beer. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. I'll catch up. Monica just took the Jeep. It's got the trailer on it. She's gonna get wood for the house from the woodshed. But that corner is super tight. It's really hard to make it in one shot. Let's see. This will be interesting. Where the trailer is gonna go, probably over the embankment. she did okay. What's going on?
Nothing.
How's the Jeep?
Good.
What's going on here?
Alright.
Doing what?
What?
That's a good wife. Right there. You didn't want to back the trailer in here?
I'm not that good.
That'll be your next lesson. We'll work on that. It's not that hard. This is looking pretty good. These the yellow flowers actually last a while. They've been out for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, they're egg leaf spurges.
The yellow ones?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not that I'll remember that.
All right, so another beauty day here. Can't complain. It's pretty good. Comfortable temps. Yard work this morning. Did some weed whacking, grass trimming. Gonna fix this hose here. Got a big split on this thing. This goes for the drip lines. So I got a coupler I'm just gonna put in there and fix that, and I'm gonna spend some time down at the workshop and clean that area up. We're just in the lower pasture here. Haven't been down here since the grass has really grown. It's pretty well knee deep. So a previous owner had let one of the neighbors up the road use this for their horses, so we discussed that's going to be fine as long as you stay out of that little building. And then I'll keep this maintained, get it mowed down a bit. It's a big lilac bush here. This is right down by the old school district building.
Flowers. Go get 'em.
Reno's all riled up again. So this is kind of where the runway is supposed to be, this area. But it's not growing that good. So it's perfect. I can keep this down. Oh boy.
Come here, Dad. Go, go,
Oh shit.
Always. Go, go, go. No.
Come on. She's gonna take him out eventually. Oh shit. Hey! Knock it off. It's too rough. Too rough. When they get like this, there'll be a big fight. There'll be some blood. Settle down!
Hey. Hey.
Thank you.
Josh.
Whoa. Out in the garden this afternoon. Been a lazy couple of days for me. Had a bit of a stomach bug. It's still kind of bugging me, so taking it pretty easy. Tired, haven't slept much. I feel better today. So I'm out in the garden, pulling some weeds. There's a lot of area to take care of actually, but the weeds aren't so bad right now. Somewhat manageable. But yeah, can't stay away from it too long. So I've been out here a while, and I was just thinking, today's one of those days again where it's ultra quiet. I don't remember the last car that went by. It's like super quiet. Slight breeze. Some birds in the distance. There hasn't been as many birds in the yard. Even the feeders are quiet, so I think they're kind of done gorging for the winter, spring. I think they have lots of food everywhere else, but it's definitely quiet. I can just hear the river a little bit. It's pretty full, so you can just kind of hear it going. Yeah, I don't mind it so. Because some cars, some days you get quite a few cars. They've been moving a lot of cattle, so a lot of big diesel trucks been going by with their big trailers. I think they're moving cattle from different areas, or maybe even up at the high country now. So, yeah, it's one of those days where it's just ultra quiet. Garden's doing good, so we've been having rain almost every day, like usually late afternoon or evening. Days are pretty good. So everything's pretty saturated, growing, including the weeds. I was gonna go in the forest and shoot some guns and shit. Maybe have a beer. But we'll do that another time. Maybe for breakfast. Instead, we're gonna have another fire. I'm gonna do a fire on this side. And yes, the brick is not put in proper or permanent, and the fire ring. We'll get them ordered together eventually with another layer or two. So tonight what we're gonna do is, I got the old Dutch oven out. Haven't used this since camping 2019. I think we're gonna do a campfire chili right here. Sorry, Tim, I didn't call it a cauldron. Dutch oven is kind of a weird name for it too. I don't know. What should we call it? Campfire cast iron pot thingamajigger. Anyways, you can make it whatever you want in it. I wouldn't suggest boiling water in it. It's not gonna have a very good taste. I'm still dealing with trying to figure it all out and repair some of these lines, the drip lines, so this place can pretty well irrigate itself. So it uses all these 1/4-inch fittings. They're all over the place. Some of them are broken from the winter and the fittings are snapped. So when you turn this thing on, it just spews water everywhere because the tips aren't plugged in, or yeah, it's a bit of a mess. Okay, it looks like I stopped the big leaks. I just have a lot of fittings laying on the ground, little sprinklers. So I'll have to get some sticks and tape them on there so they can do their thing. Yeah, it's a bit all over the place. But I've got lots of water to this bed. It then runs out and along the cold frames. So there is some spinach that survived. Somebody ate most of it when he was younger. All this is kale and weeds, or it's all weeds. Not a huge kale fan. Actually, they're not bad like this when they're babies. This bed's not in use. Strawberries are just having fun in here. And this bed is not really in use. Oh, there's just a chipmunk over here. It's only in partial use here. Just fennel and 3 onions, that's it. So maybe I'll just I'll clear this bed out, and maybe the center one, since it's self-watering now, that'll be good for just greens and stuff. I just came down here and noticed the gate's closed. I don't remember Monica saying anything about that. Odd. Unless you're walking cattle back here on the road, I don't see any poo, so it must have been Monica. There is actually evidence of cow poo and cow travel, so I guess somebody closed the gate, so cows wouldn't be escaping up into our property. Yep, that's what happened. Just talked to the guys that were bringing the cattle up the valley. Actually, there's a bunch of guys on horses. The kid I was talking to, man, he was probably like 12. Cowboy hat on and the whole works, riding a big horse. I just let him know that I left my gate open because I wasn't sure what was going on. So Yeah, told them to go up ahead and close the gate, or we're gonna have a lot of cows on the property. Well, I guess they're just on the other side hanging out. The other side of the cattle yard. Oh yeah? Can I come through, please? Can I pass? Oh, you look mad. You mad at me? Alright, let's go. I would like to go home. Yeah. Take your kids with you, okay? What are you doing, buddy? Okay, guys. See you later. Good afternoon. Goodbye. Hey, kid. Okay, I got Monica a new toy. Oh, Reno might get it on the nose, too.
It's okay, Savannah. I know, I'm killing them. Reno likes it.
Yeah, no doubt. So the mosquitoes aren't really an issue around here, except for the dogs. I really like the dogs, but I barely ever have any bites. But Monica always wanted one of these, so there you go. Now she's having no fun with it. You're gonna get your nose on there,
You don't-
dumbass.
I only have to do it once.
Man, that makes a pretty good crackling sound when you hit
Oh
them.
yeah, I smelt it too.
Really?
Yep.
Nice. It's like a little barbecue. I'm on the upper main trail. It's starting to disappear a little bit. Things have really greened out. Holy smokes. Looks like it's pretty thriving forest for ground cover. I don't see too many bare spots. Mostly in here. It's kind of mossy in here, not much vegetation. Got a bit of a special brew I'm making here. And no, it's not for drinking. I'm going to mix all this together and make some mosquito repellent for the dogs, because they've been just getting annihilated, especially Reno. His fur is so thin. They haven't been bothering me a whole lot. Not so much Monica either, but the dogs, man, it's been kind of rough on them. So let's mix this up, see if this witch's brew is any good, because it's not cheap buying all this. Yeah. This is Reno. We just got back from a little walk around. Man, he's got a lot of bites, and that's just the top. His belly gets it pretty bad. Got a bunch on his head. So let's make this stuff up.
Okay.
Reno's gonna get it first, and he's always suspicious. He doesn't like spray bottles. Yeah? What are you gonna do to me? What the hell is that? Hey, where are you going?
Oh yeah, come here. Yeah. Hopefully it works.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is spray you pretty heavy, and we're just gonna go for a walk over here. I'm sure I can find some mosquitoes just at the edge of the forest. I'm on the trail. Well, it's not a trail yet. This is the one I've been trying to do. So, trying to connect the Jeep down here. And I've made it about in here anyways. But this tree's on the way. This is the best route through to connect just up in here. Okay. So as you can see, this tree's got slightly into it. Bit of a bend. I don't like cutting these. There's a lot of pressure on it. I don't think it's going to barber chair, but it might. So it's going to be a small undercut. I'm going to cut into the sides a little bit. And then let the rear go. It's going to go downhill. As long as I'm uphill, I should be all right. Yeah, just have to keep an extra eye on this one. Tree down. It worked as expected, but there was one thing I didn't calculate. There's such a gooseneck in it. When it actually came off the stump here, and the gooseneck bend hit here, the butt, it came up about 10 feet. Had a bit of speed to it, so had it kind of went tilted and kicked to the side, you'd have to stay pretty clear mean, that thing was going before the saw was finished cutting for sure. I figured that it would, so yeah, it was the last cut was as fast as possible with a quick retreat. Got that log bucked up. It's a green tree, I don't like cutting them, but this thing was going to be a hazard anyways, and no good. How's that for a workout? Looking for a cold beer? Yeah, all right. I'm gonna just do a quick walk and see if we can get the Jeep up here. All right, the route is clear. It's pretty lumpy in there with a bunch of rotten wood and stuff. Uneven benches. Hopefully I'll get enough traction. Now once I get here, I'm gonna make a sharp right to level off the Jeep. And that's as far as I wanna go. And then I can back up into here. That's gonna be really off camber. A little bit uneasy feeling, I'm sure. There's a bit of a ditch here. I want to drop into that with the rear wheel. I'll be nice and tippy. And then just exit. So the grade isn't really a factor. Until you get to the top, it climbs up off camber, leaning quite a bit to the right. Sorry, to the left. And you can make a turn. And there is a bunch of benches. So yeah, if I get the Jeep into a real bad spot, it's going to get pretty tippy. Definitely. So there's a chance of a roll even if things really get out of hand. But if I hold my line and just carry through. We're nearing end of May. Weather's been really good, mild, no frost whatsoever. It's rained almost daily, so usually overnight or in the late afternoon. Had some minor thunderstorms. And if I look like total hell, well, if I feel like hell. I've had a stomach bug for, I think this is day 8. I'm just starting to feel a little better. But yeah, man, I've just been able to do very little around the place, and it kind of sucks because there is lots to do. And I've already missed a couple weeks going to the coast, so it's been tough. Zero energy. I haven't really been eating because it just brings on massive cramps and stuff. But it looks like it's getting better now. So I'll try to get a few things done this afternoon then. This is kind of a high season for cutting the lawn. It grows like crazy right now. So I've got to stay on top of that. But with the new mower, that helps definitely. So the last project I kind of worked on was the fire pit, which is pretty well complete. I guess, except for the barbecue part and stuff like that, but it's there. So, and I got to get up on the roof. I got to deal with this thing yet, with the leak. And yeah, always something to do. But when you're sick, you don't have the energy, it's really annoying because the stuff just waits for later, I guess. So let's get at her and do some yard work. I got to deal with that roof section up front that's been leaking every time it rains because I want to paint the deck, but I can't do that till I have the roof fixed. So I'm going to have another look up there to see where all the screw holes are. It looks like there's a couple of different styles of screws, maybe even some nails that were put through there. So I'm going to have just look at the condition of the metal in that area that has to be addressed. I'm just going to jump up on the roof here real quick and have another look. This might take a while, if you know what I mean. Bye.